So if your views are low, or you're scared of demonetization, or you're a complete beginner, listen up, because I'm going to tell you the 8 biggest changes of the YouTube algorithm. Starting with change number 1. Gemini. So it's fully official, okay? The YouTube algorithm is now powered by Gemini AI. Now, for those of you that don't know what Gemini is, it's pretty much Google's ChatGPT. And the job that YouTube gave Gemini is to analyze videos. So technically, it's no longer about tags, titles, or anything that mattered before. Because of Gemini, now it's what you say, how you say it, and what you show on your screen. Like the actual visuals of your video. And it even understands the tone. Like if your video's supposed to be sad, it understands it. If you're being sarcastic, it also understands it. So that's pretty scary shit within itself. But the most important part is that Gemini also analyzes your behavior on the platform. Which takes me to number 2. Trust score. This has got to be one of the biggest changes that I've ever seen on YouTube. So this is the easiest way to explain trust score. You want to prove to the algorithm / Gemini that you're a human. You know, with all of these new AI tools that create videos for you in the click of a button and all of these content farms, YouTube is now more strict than ever when it comes to like your profile, right? Your Google profile, what you do. So now it doesn't even matter how many views your YouTube channel gets. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. If Gemini doesn't think you're human, it's going to 360 no-scope your channel, as in termination or demonetization. And this change was done about 2 weeks ago, which is why you've heard so much news of people getting their channels taken away. But I think I found a solution to this, which takes me to number 3, the age of the email and the age of the YouTube channel. If you're a beginner or you're starting from scratch again, my advice to you is to start posting on a YouTube channel that was created over 5 months ago. The older the YouTube channel is, the better. Just use your personal email. You know, that email that you watch videos on, the one where you're subscribed to your favorite YouTubers. If you have any Google subscriptions like Google One, Google Workspace, YouTube Premium, you know, any of those subscriptions, the better it is. I mean, just look at it from the other side. Just imagine you're YouTube and you see a brand new email and YouTube channel get created. Within an hour, they start posting videos. Not only that, but they start posting once or twice every single day. They don't use that YouTube account for anything else. They don't use that Google account for anything else. There is no track record. There is no history. It's just an account that's very active. In the eyes of YouTube and Google, that's sort of suspicious. Now, it's not that a human can't do that, but it's almost guaranteed that the amount of people that have done that don't post original content. That's where the issue is. So by doing that, that's the first check mark. But that doesn't mean you're 100% safe. Moving on to number 4 is the name and profile picture of your channel. So what I found is that giving your YouTube channel a personality name is safer than giving your YouTube channel a brand name. For example, if you're starting a faceless channel about history, I would stay away from naming the channel something like History Central. Instead, I would name it Carlos Romayroh, my name. Or Romayroh in Time. So just make your YouTube channel your actual name, or a name that sounds cool, like James Bond. Obviously not James Bond, but you get the point. Instead of making your YouTube channel a brand, make it a personality. Sure, it may not 100% be you, but it's your channel's personality. Then you double down by making your profile picture a person or a selfie of you. Doesn't matter. Because regardless of how careful you are, YouTube treats brands and personalities very different. It doesn't matter if you were going to post the same exact shit, because brand named YouTube channels have a higher percentage of getting demonetized for reuse content. But that's not it. Moving on to number 5, that is social media links. Now again, let's go ahead and say I create a YouTube channel in the history niche called Romayroh Goes Back. Well, in the About page, I'm going to create a Twitter or X account, an Instagram, a LinkedIn, a fucking website with the same exact name, Romayroh Goes Back. You know, and that will give even more concrete evidence to Gemini that this is a personality account, where there's a face, a name, and most likely authentic content, which we are regardless, right? I'm not saying like this is how you get around demonetization or you get around, you know, any YouTube guidelines. You want to follow all of YouTube's guidelines. What I'm telling you right now is the best ways to protect your channel, you know, to set up everything correctly from the beginning. Now moving on to the final thing, which I believe is number 6, it's adding a channel trailer. Now, when YouTube reviews your channel, which they will, the first thing that Gemini will check is your channel trailer. Because the purpose of them adding a channel trailer option is so that you can describe exactly what your channel's about. Now, how do you create a channel trailer? What are you supposed to say? Well, when I create channel trailers, I think of it as a appeal. Now, for those of you that don't know, when you get demonetized, 99% of the time it's gonna be for reuse content. Meaning that YouTube is telling you, hey, I can't tell if this is authentic content. I can't monetize this because I'm not sure. Now, when you get demonetized, you have the option to appeal. And to appeal, you need to make a video that is no longer than 5 minutes. And in the video, you have to plead your case. You have to explain to YouTube how you create your scripts, your titles, ideation, the editing. You got to show them the behind the scenes pretty much. And usually if you do everything correctly, you win these, right? Of course, saying you make authentic content. If you don't make authentic content, you're cooked. So it's just more convenient to add a channel trailer. Now, here's an example. If you go to my YouTube channel, Roof Reports, you go to the homepage, you're going to see a channel trailer where it's a guy just kind of explaining what the channel's about. That's it. That's how easy it is. You want to be as transparent as possible with YouTube. By having a channel trailer that explains everything from the jump will essentially skyrocket your trust score. Moving on to number 7, that is uploading patterns. What I found is that daily uploading from the jump is not something you want to do. The rule of thumb is to post every 2 to 4 days. And side note, do not worry about views, okay? The first 15 videos, what you have to pay attention to is impressions, not views. The second you post 15 videos, you want to go to YouTube Studio, you want to check your impressions, and if you have under 100,000 impressions, that means that 1, your trust score is very low, or your video ideas and videos were just shit. But anyways, let's say you post those 15 videos, you do have over 100,000 impressions. From there, you can start posting daily or a little bit more often. But for those of you that already have a shit ton of views or impressions, don't do this, okay? This is just for people that are starting off or they're starting a new channel. That's just a better way to go, right? You want to show Gemini and YouTube that you're a human, and a human doesn't start YouTube by uploading every single day. I mean, if you can, go for it. I mean, shit, what do I know? Now, moving on to number 8, which is descriptions. For the description of your videos, you now have to add a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of educational value. You know, instead of dropping 5 paragraphs or a shit ton of tags, just tell Gemini straight up what your video is about. Go on Google, do research on the topic that you made a video about, and put a paragraph on there. For example, if I made a video about World War II, about a specific battle, I would ask Claude, hey, give me a recap of this specific battle and what happened. Get about 5 or 6 sentences and boom, pop it in your description. That's it. Because it seems like Gemini is now rewarding educational content. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, MCNs. If you don't know what MCNs are, think of it like record labels. There's only a handful of MCNs out there that work with creators. Typically, they ask for a percentage of your channel's revenue. And essentially, joining an MCN will increase your trust score times 1,000. I mean, you really wouldn't have to do much of what I said in this video because you're in an MCN. There's only a limited amount of MCNs and they have a very strong relationship with YouTube, right? They're essentially a network of YouTube. So by partnering with them, the algorithm instantly says, we can trust this channel. And I mean, if you go into some of these MCNs websites, they tell you that, hey, we will give you more exposure in your videos. Not only that, but you have direct contact with YouTube because to be an MCN, you need to have crazy connections in YouTube. Now, here's the catch with MCNs. They won't accept every YouTube channel. It depends what your content is. And that's because they have a 10-strike system. If they decide to partner with you, and for some reason your YouTube channel gets terminated, they get a strike. Again, they only have 10. If they accept a bunch of YouTube channels that get terminated or get strikes, and they reach that limit of 10, they lose the MCN. They lose access to the network, and that's the worst possible thing that could happen to them. You know, that would crumble their business. But the best thing about MCNs is that they protect you from termination to an extent. For example, we know of that glitch from 2 weeks ago where YouTube circumvention bot was just terminating channels at random. Well, those channels that got wrongfully terminated, which they did get reinstated, they wouldn't have gotten terminated to begin with. Because again, the MCN will fight for you because they don't want you to be terminated. They get a strike for that. And they have a very close connection to someone at YouTube. So they will tell you, hey, this is what's happening. We're gonna fight for you. We're gonna make sure that you don't get terminated and plead your case. Now, of course, this is not a way for you to go around termination. If you break YouTube's terms of service or YouTube's guidelines, you will be terminated. The MCN will not even accept you to begin with. But if you're posting safe and original content and you follow all of YouTube's guidelines to a T, then you have a protection in case of glitches or errors or misunderstandings. Now, I can't really give you advice as to what MCN to join. You're gonna have to do your own research on that. If you are an owner of an MCN out there, hit me up. I'm trying to get into an MCN. But yeah, quick recap. So Gemini is in charge of a lot of shit with the algorithm now, which means you need to have a higher trust score, which means it's better to start with an aged email or an aged YouTube channel. You want to brand your YouTube channel as a personality as opposed to a brand. You want to make sure you have presence on all social medias and link them to your YouTube channel. You want to add a channel trailer that shows the backend, the production, the ideation, and everything. And for those of you that are starting off, do not start by uploading daily. Make sure you add educational insights in your descriptions and do some research with MCNs. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I forgot anything else. Anyways, if you're someone that wants to start taking YouTube serious, you can click the link in my description or in the pinned comment, and that's going to take you to my school community. If you don't give a fuck about this, I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day. But for those of you that do want to take YouTube serious, I'm the owner of Views for Income, which is the biggest YouTube automation community in school. This is where you're going to find over 80 plus videos where I show you guys exactly how I scaled my channels. From ideation to thumbnail tutorials to editing tutorials, hiring a team, and just everything I know about YouTube. It's all going to be here in these videos. You also get free access to my extension, which helps you with SEO and script writing. But the best part is that I go live every single week. This is where I speak with you guys directly, answer any questions, review your channels, all that good stuff. And if you want to learn more in detail about everything I just shared in this video, that's going to be in the 2026 update. I'm still updating all of the videos to this day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're still watching, go ahead and check it out. If it's not for you, at least like and subscribe. All right. Y'all have a good day.